Welcome to the LWTV network here on YouTube. I'm Jake Farr, and it's the start of the winter season here at Lincoln Way West. So let's take a look at our past media day for all our winter sports.
All right, well, welcome to our annual winter press, I would say, media day. We're excited to have you. How this is going to work, we're just going to talk a little bit freely on some questions. We're going to first start with Coach Sweeney. Coach Sweeney, coming off a historical year last year, why don't you talk to us about last year and the promise of this year?
Sure. I thought last year went extremely well. I think everyone worked really well together on a daily basis. And again, like we've talked about many times with our group here, it was a focus every day about getting better, every day, one step at a time. And we're just going to continue to do the same thing this year. So I think things look great for this year. We do have a younger team this year than we had last year, but we do have a lot of veterans too. So I think everything looks to be awesome this year.
Wow, you're being really humble. How did we finish last year?
We did finish as the state runner-up, so that was, like you said, historic ending to the season, which, you know, we have been in the top like 10 many times before, and I was reflecting on this yesterday that there's been so many times that we've planned for that day after state with the trophy presentation and everything. I've been a part of those conversations for the last like 12 years or so, and then to actually get to do it last year was phenomenal. So yeah, I was super proud of that.
I can personally attest. I can say when I first started as AD, I believe it was a 21-22 season, and I went down and I watched them compete at state, and it was such an eye-opening factor that I thought we should have made it to the second day, and we didn't. And you get that high adrenaline rush. I thought we performed really well, and sometimes it's just out of your hand. And you know, we look at that, and you know, how do you prepare your ladies to you know, to be on that type of stage and know that, you know, sometimes it's a judge. It's just they didn't either like something or.
Yeah. Well, my ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
Gentlemen back there.
Yep.
So to prepare them all, I think that's why we can't focus on anyone but ourselves. Like every conversation we have is not about what anyone else is doing. It's just about what we're doing to prepare ourselves and be the best that we can be for each performance, and to know that sometimes, you know, it is out of our hands, and they may not love what we're doing, but we want to love what we're doing, and we want to be proud of what we're doing. So that's always our focus. We want to go out to each game and like what we're performing, and we want it to be crowd pleasing, something that people can get excited to watch, and I think that's what we do.
You know, you've been the coach since the school has opened. You took a couple years off, which you know, but came back. I asked you to come back. I begged you to come back, to be honest. And you know, historically we've always, our top tier program. You came here. Why don't you tell us what type of dance we perform and why?
Okay. Yeah, we've done hip hop. I think when I was head coach at Central, we started to kind of do some hip hop then. We were doing 2 routines at that time, and then as we moved over here, it was just, I think we've always had very athletic teams here, so able to do some tumbling and to do some of like the different skills that we would do well with a hip hop genre. We could definitely do other things, but I think, you know, we just like that it's crowd appealing to everyone. Like anyone can enjoy it. You know, sometimes we go against other teams that do like more emotional pieces, and we just want to have fun out there. So that's just kind of what we've always done.
A couple rounds of questions for the athletes to answer. First off, I'm just going to go down the panel here. Could you give me your perspective, or what you think is good, that makes a successful dance team, or you know, components or characteristics of a team that's going to help you be successful this year? What are you looking for from your own opinion? What are those most important parts?
I would say just like staying positive all over, and like we are teams, we do have to work together, and that's just mainly the main reason is that we are a team. We can't do things without each other. We all have to learn to work together, and that's what makes it a team.
Yeah, I would say for our team this year, like a lot of teams focus on winning, and that is specifically what we don't want to focus on. Our team is just focusing on being open-minded, being adapted to change, because we're always changing things in practice. Our routine is never looking the same every day. So just being very open-minded, not focusing on the trophies, but just how we can better our routine overall.
I think patience definitely is a big key. Like, you have to be very patient with each other when going over corrections and trying to like redo something in a dance. But it's a big factor for everyone just to hear each other and take the feedback and be like able to take the criticism, because that's going to overall better the team.
I think connection is very important. Having a team that trusts each other and that know each other deeply. I mean, that's what really makes the team, is people who combine to, they all have the same goal, you know, they all want the same thing, and that's just to be proud of what you perform. So having that connection, that bond between each other really just shows how much of a team you are.
My second question was going to deal with, you know, being the leaders, being the athletes, dancers that are up here now. It kind of is close to the last question, but just more in detail of advice you can give. If there's a tough time, what can you do to help and to bring your team together as young dancers, to mold together and what you want to have success with. What are some parts that maybe you struggle with and how you got through it, just to help the whole team kind of move forward together?
I would definitely say just like always having an open mind, and like, yeah, there's gonna be times when you are down and like you mess up or you don't succeed in a specific skill or anything. But you always gotta, again, stay positive, and like you will get to that point. You will like reach that point, and you just have to keep working hard, and yeah.
And they're the ones that can like go to those younger ones and kind of guide them through those experiences.
Yeah, for me personally, I would say frustration is a big thing that I've had to deal with. During practice, we are having longer practices, so when there's time where it's just kind of still on like just one certain section, it can be a little frustrating if we're not all getting it right. But I think that's one thing we have to appreciate, is that we are able to spend so much time focusing on one section and getting it all together. And I think just focusing on not being frustrated, but like Lindsay said, open-minded just really helps us progress.
One thing I like to tell like my younger peers is that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So you have to constantly put in the effort and then help your peers around you, because you doing something that's going to benefit you is also going to help benefit the others on the team. So I think just like bouncing those like positivity around is going to really help.
I think just staying open-minded, but knowing that like we're all in it together. Like in the end, again, we all want the same thing. So just staying open-minded and really like Sadie said, appreciating the struggles, knowing that we have so much time and we have so much community to work on that together. Like we all are wanting to put in this hard work. We just have to be on the same page on what we want and really focus and be willing to take corrections and willing to work hard even when it is tough.
Yeah, just being in the athletic department for so many years, I just appreciate the dance demeanor, work ethic. It's impressive, and you should be proud of that. And whatever you can do to build that team moving forward is it's just been awesome, and keep that success alive. So I just wanted to say that, because it is. It needs to be out there that hard work pays off, and the leadership and the team coming together. When you have all these girls and guys here together, it's not easy. So I just want to say, you know, it's been impressive, and keep it up. And good luck this year.
You know, I always look at it as nothing's guaranteed. You know, and I've learned that through past 20 some years coaching, but not also that is past 3 years as an AD, watching the highs and lows of all of our athletic teams. And you know, I feel like you all have a very good sense and grounded, knowing that nothing's guaranteed, but hard work will pay off, and we appreciate that as the athletic department. But the next question I'm going to kind of lead into is, you got a lot of girls and guys that were up here that have experience. You know, I'm going to start to talk. I'll ask Lindsay a question here. You know, you've been part of the program. You've seen the highs and the lows. What have you learned from the low, and where have you been for the high?
I've definitely learned that when you're at that low, that it's not the end, and there's always room for improvement. Like, just because you didn't succeed doesn't mean you can't try and get to that next level. Like, there's always room for growth and there's always room for improvement. You just have to work for it.
Who do you lean on for advice?
I definitely lean on my sister. She graduated 2 years ago, and when I was my sophomore year and she was a senior, I definitely came to her for a lot of things because she was like my mentor, and I looked up to her and stuff like that. But also, when I like want to get inspiration, us and a lot of the other girls look at the college teams, and they have a lot of great ideas, and we like to see what other teams have going on, and we like to get our ideas from them and learn from them as well.
Awesome. Yes, I can appreciate that. I've seen your sister, and I think there's a good bonding there. Sadie, this next question is for you. You're a veteran now. You are the leader of the group. I would say I've seen you around. Was fortunate to coach you when you were a little toddler, not toddler, I would say, but junior high in basketball. So you translated from basketball to dance. Are you excited that you did that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, dance has always been a part of my life. I started dance before anything else. My grandma enrolled me in dance classes when I was like 3, along with my brother, so we did some ballet together. But yeah, so I've always stuck with it, and I especially love that our team does hip hop because that was always the thing that I enjoyed most about dance. Basketball, I don't think I was very good at, so I'm definitely glad I went out with this. But yeah, I've had so much fun, like all these experiences, and like Lindsay was saying, even the lows and the highs, I love every single second of it. So yeah, I'm really happy with my choice.
I'm glad you made that decision as well.
Me too.
Isabel, so tell me one thing that you really enjoyed last year.
I really enjoyed winning the state runner-up title. I think all of our hard work really paid off. It was such a cool experience, especially for the girls who hadn't been to state before. Just walking out of those currents, it's like an unreal feeling. It's so surreal. It's just something like you're never gonna forget. So I think that was just a very eye-opener for everyone. Everyone just really took it in and we enjoyed it.
Awesome. Ava, so you've seen the program, you were part of the program, you love it. What is one of your favorite things about practices? What are some things that you do in practice that you really love?
Honestly, just like, I know it sounds silly, but like working out together, like, we're all together, and that's like, dancing, you're in sync, you're working together, and when we're, running or working out, or even just like working on the routine, we're all together, and it just shows how much like we all, even when it's like, again, when it's frustrating, we're there to pick each other up.
Yeah, and I think you guys will like push each other too, like
Yeah.
you encourage each other through those things, like let's go you guys, and
Yes.
yeah, I think that's
It's-
nice camaraderie.
Yeah, it just shows our connection as a team.
Yeah, and that was part of my next question. How do you maintain an encouraging environment, especially during tough practice sessions and post-competition recovery? And it sounds like you all talk about being open-minded and positive, but there's anything else that you do during a tough practice, or it's hard to stay in sync?
I think like when we're on the water breaks, we really try to just like take a deep breath and reset. They're quick. It's you get off, you take a deep breath, and you go back in, trying to just like keep your mind open and positive, like we've been saying. And that's something that we really rely on. It's just like we're all in this like it's hard work, but that's what we're all here for, is to work hard.
And they know each other well, so I think they know the minute someone's face drops that that person needs somebody. So I think that's what's so nice about having a big program too. Like there's 24 athletes, so if somebody's having a rough time, someone will go to that person and kind of take care of them. So yeah.
Nice. Beautiful.
So let's talk a little bit about routine this year. Okay, so we're excited. Can you give us any insight on what the routine's going to be? I know we're hip hop, but something that's different than what we did last year.
It's gonna be great.
Gonna be great.
It is athletic, as as usual. We're still working out some things. I think we're well known for like our interesting formations and just the way that the routine kind of flows together. So we have the same choreographer as last year. That's worked out well. And yeah, I don't know, we don't want to give away too much, and it's a work in progress. So, you know, every day we're kind of changing some things, tweaking things here and there, and it's far from the final product, but we're enjoying the process of getting there. So.
Do you guys get, do you get a choreographer that works for other schools too? And
This choreographer that we used, she does work for other schools, but she's out of North Dakota. So it would be kind of unusual for her to have another like local team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a, knock on wood, hopefully it won't happen, but if you have injuries and you're in a sport that requires in syncness, how do you compensate for that if you know what I mean? Like if you're missing a girl from her formation.
Right. So, and it's something that we started doing last year. We floored 20 dancers, but the team has 24 members. So my 4 alternates are always working on different aspects of the routine, because as we've talked about before, like no one does the same routine. So like Sadie's dance and Lindsay's dance are totally different. They might have some parts where they're like the same, but our alternates, they play a huge important role in making sure that they know all of the different parts and that we can put them in where we need them. So we would not want to go into a competition with like a hole in the dance, so we would fill that spot.
Okay.
It's tough to do, that's a tough role to play, but we're appreciative that we've got great people in those positions.
Is the 11 an abnormally large amount of returning girls for a year or no?
And I would say probably for most schools, but for us, I would say no. I mean, we just historically do have big teams. So I think if you compare to other like local teams, they're usually more around 15 members on a team, and with us having 24, our chances of having big teams every year, or like, you know, carry over between the years is just higher.
So when you compete, do they have restrictions on how many or how few you can have?
Yes, they do. I can't remember. I would never pay attention to how few, because we would never be anywhere near that. But I want to say it's 28. It's 24 or 28 is the max that you can have.
So this is just a theoretical question, but isn't it easier to have fewer, because fewer people in sync would be like, you know, like synchronized swimming is 2 and it's
Yeah.
usually really, really good.
Right.
Isn't it difficult the more you
So
get?
it requires so much work on everyone's part to get 20 to 24 dancers to do the same thing at all times. But I also think it pays off in the fact that we're able to create really interesting visual effects with that many more dancers. So it's a balance. We often will look at that, like if our score for, it's not cleanliness, but it's like a score that's, what's the word I'm looking for? When we're looking at like how clean the routine is, it is definitely going to be harder for like a big team like us. But like I said, I think it pays off in the fact that we're able to create awesome visuals, lifts, and just do different things.
Awesome. All right, one last question. And we're going to end on a fun note. So, you know, my question to you is, we're going to go down the panel, and what is one of your favorite invites and moments besides state that you like to do in the season? So we'll start with Ava. What's one of your favorite invites? Is there a particular one?
Like specifically competitions or just
Yeah,
like
competitions.
It's hard because state is going to be so far
I know,
above
it's-
everything else.
I think sectionals was really fun, because it was kind of like, at that point we knew our routine and we knew exactly where we were going to go with it, and so it was that last final like, let's put in this work. We had just won conference, and so it was like, let's really show them what we got, and we came out with sectional champs, and it was really surreal. It was really cool, and just knowing that like state was the next week, like we had done it, you know, two champion titles at this point. We were just ready to keep going. That was really fun.
Awesome.
I would think definitely conference is one of my favorites. You just get to see like everyone in your division, what they have to offer, their routines. And then going along with that, it's also cool like knowing where you stand, so then when you do go to sectionals, you have a better idea of like seeing who you're up against. I think that's a really good way of putting it. And then this year we're actually hosting conference, so I am very excited about that as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same exact thing. I love conference. I think it's really fun. Just some head-to-head with the local teams. And then yeah, hosting this year is also gonna be really fun. And I also like that it's kind of lighthearted because obviously we're trying our best, but unlike sectionals, like you're not gonna get ticket to state. It's just kind of seeing where you rank among those teams. So yeah.
I'm also going to say sectionals because it's almost like that last moment that you can really see where you're going to go to state and stuff, and everyone's fighting for that spot, and you're just all really just putting in all your hard work and competing for that spot.
Yeah, and your last chance to get feedback that's going to be able to help you for state.
For state.
Yeah.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, we do look forward to this season. We're excited. I'm excited. I know we're hosting the conference. That's going to be awesome. That was one of my favorite moments. Was last year going east, watching you guys just kill it. You just dominated it. I do love that we do hip hop. That's my favorite. You guys bring so much energy to the table. It's fun to watch. We're excited. And, you know, best of luck this year. And obviously you're going to have a lot more people following you now because, you know, you runner up. So don't worry about that. Worry about getting yourself better each week. Good job. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.